Oh yeah.
Welcome back to Naturally Lit. I'm gonna need to get me a new lighter. I'm burning some sage so we can have a great conversation and receive the information that we need today. It is a rainy day. It's a rainy day here in LA. I just wanted to come on here because I wanted to tell you guys my natural hair story, because I feel as if, like, why not just start off the new year this way with this kind of video. My natural hair story is a quote-unquote accident, but you know how accidents work. I'm going to be putting pictures up and things like that, okay, so you guys can get some references. Essentially, what I can remember from childhood, it is that my mother, it took her about forever and a half to do my hair as a kid, like literally forever and a half. She did her best. She really did her best. She had me some cute little hairstyles, you know, when I was a kid. Lots of puffs with the you know, the little balls at the front and the back, and that was always a thing. And so I was natural until high school, actually. High school or middle school? High school. It had to have been high school, because that's where peer pressure really comes in. You know what I'm saying? In high school, I started getting my hair relaxed. Relaxing, if you don't know, is when you put some chemicals in your hair and it quote-unquote relaxes the kinks out of your hair, which for people with kinky hair, especially people from Afro-descendant people, our hair is very, very much linked to our spirituality. They are like our spiritual antennas, you can call them that. So essentially, I got my hair permed, but I wasn't doing it all the time because the texture of my hair is already malleable enough, meaning that I could straighten my hair and it will still turn into a puff ball, but I wouldn't need to relax my hair all the time, every 3 months, which I think is, for me, I just would not recommend any person to relax their hair more than twice a year, honestly. Twice a year, you should be good. You should be really good. And you should not, it's from the time that the relaxer touches your scalp is the time that it's supposed to be done. It's the same thing with dye, you know, it's not like you put it on and then you let it burn. You know, your hair is actually not supposed to burn, because that is literally burning the hair follicles, also the root of your head and your skin, and it also goes into your brain cells and into your body. I mean, would you eat it? If you wouldn't eat it, then it's probably not that great for you. I mean, just in general, I mean, there's a lot of things that we put on our skin that we wouldn't actually put in our mouths and ingest. So I think that's a very interesting concept that I've been researching on lately. And even today, I put cocoa butter as my moisturizer on my face before I did my makeup. I know all my makeup is not edible. Will there ever be makeup that's edible? I don't know. That's a whole different thought. Like, I don't even know. So anyway, I perm my hair, relax my hair twice a year. And I used to live in New York City. And the Dominican hair salons, oh my gosh, they are everything. They are everything. So I used to get my hair done twice a week, because back then it was so inexpensive. It was about $12 for a wash and set. A wash and set is where they wash your hair and they put it in those big curlers, and then you sit underneath the dryer, and then, you know, that sets your hair, and then they take it out and they blow dry that baby. There's such an art form to it. It's such an art form, and I love it. I love straight hair sometimes, like for a photo shoot or for like a day, you know what I'm saying? Or just for a night kind of thing. But I love my natural hair way more at this point. But I would get the first half of the week, I would get like my hair blow dried straight. And then the second half of the week, I would just let the set rock. You know what I'm saying? So I had 2 hairstyles a week. I was like, yes, this is cute. And it was great because my hair was like, my hair straight is I mean, if you have a person who can do a great wash and set, your hair is just bouncing and flowing all over I mean, afterwards it feels like you don't even have hair on your head. It's kind of crazy because that's how light and fluffy it feels. So I did that and I began my modeling acting career. I'm going to put my first headshot in here. That's my first headshot. So yeah, I had booked a couple jobs doing that, and I was only perming my hair like twice a year. Relaxing, perming my hair twice a year because I could see the texture of my hair and I could kind of tell, that it was very fucking intense, this process of relaxing and perming my hair. It was very intense on my head, at least the way that it was presented to me, which it was presented the wrong way. It's this idea of putting in the chemicals and letting it sit and burn. Like, no, you are burning off literally your scalp. You're burning your hair follicles, the roots of your hair. The chemicals are seeping inside it. Like, it's doing all this extra stuff that you don't need it to do, because you're supposed to, if anything, you're supposed to perm, like start wherever it's the place that you want it permed the straightest. You're supposed to start there first, work outside, and then take it out immediately. That's it. That is all you're supposed to do. And then you maintain the straightness of the perm. That's it. But you're not supposed to damage your hair follicles, because your hair follicles, they communicate with the universe. You know what I'm saying? With the spirit world. So it's like, it's especially for us who have this textured hair, we need to really be careful with what we do and what we put it in. Even though it is very, very strong, it can withstand a lot of things. Let's not forget the reasons why we perm our hair, why it was presented to us in the first place, why our Afro textures were stripped away in the first place. We have to ask ourselves why. I understand there's a lot of people with skin conditions or illnesses that need wigs. I absolutely understand and empathize with that. But I'm talking to the sector of people who have healthier hair or life, they are healthier and their hair is just under a wig because you want it to. Like, why are you putting your hair under a hat? You don't need to do that. You just get to know your hair. It's a beautiful, beautiful process in getting to know your hair. But essentially, this was at the time. This is what I mean. Like, this is why people talk about representation and why it matters. This was at the time when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes had short hair. And I think Rihanna had it right before that. But remind you, these are like the only kind of two references that I can think of right now that are powerful enough for me to remember why I would do this. But I went into my Dominican hair salon, which sometimes y'all Dominican hair salons, y'all be chop the hair off. I don't know why y'all chop so hard when I said trim. That's what y'all mean by trim? And that was my fault because I'm not fluent in Spanish at that time, right? And I'm going into the salon and just showing a picture of some white woman what I want on my hair with 2 perms a year. See, now, like, when you have short hair and you get a short hairstyle, that's different. Like, you might need a little bit more. I'm not sure because I've never had permed straight short hair, but I feel like it's a lot of upkeep from what I see. So I was working at Urban Outfitters at the time, and when those circle scarves were out, they were like from American Apparel. They were like a dress and a hat and a top and a skirt. You could just do whatever you want with it. Well, I had that on my head, and my mom came to pick me up. I was working on 66th Street, Urban Outfitters. Oh my goodness! And I showed her my hair, and she was like, "Okay." Just like, okay. Now, my mom has had short hair all her life, so for her it's not a thing, but she looking at me like and I'd cut my hair before because I'd love a bob, and I feel like every woman should have a bob, a lob, something, because that haircut is everything. And when I tell you that, I feel like it's like walking in heels. It's a rite of passage, you know what I'm saying? in whatever we think womanhood is. Y'all know what I mean. Those are things every woman needs to experience at some point in their life. It's great. And so, yeah, my hair was so short I couldn't even touch the back. But it was short here, and it got, like longer a little bit. And it was, I had the bangs in the front. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I clearly wasn't. And so I had that, but that's what forced me to get to know my natural hair. So the cool thing about living in New York is that, it has 4 seasons, and it really goes through the cycles of the seasons. And because of that, I really saw personally, for me, my hair was reacting in an amazing way. I was getting enough humidity, I was getting enough heat, I was getting enough moisture. It was a great cycle. So my hair was flourishing, and I had been doing my thing. I had got new headshots, okay? Yes, and she was getting booked off just the headshots alone, because in New York, it's a whole different steez. In New York, you're getting booked because of, I don't know, they like all kinds of people in New York, They like all kinds of skin tones, more so than out here in LA. There's always levels to this here in America, as we know. But I just had more luck. I just had way more, I want to say luck. Yeah, luck out in New York, because my body type was, I'm not thin. I'm not extra tall. And I had natural hair. So you would think like, that ain't going to work, but it worked. It worked in New York. And in New York, I was booking things. I was getting opportunities. And as you can see in some of these pictures. And so there was this one opportunity that I got, and I got the job, but I was natural for 3 years at that point. And I just went to this Dominican salon to get my hair pressed, and I got this job, and it became a bigger job, and I had more opportunities, but my hair had to get done so many times that it damaged my hair. And now I could see, Britney has some other things going on, but I could see why Britney would shave off her head, or why Ariana Grande would put her hair in a ponytail for a year, because it's so damaging to get your hair done like that almost every single day. Every single day, or putting that much makeup on your skin every single day. There is something to rest, and especially for kinky hair, we have to leave it alone, honey. Leave it alone and moisturize it, and that's about it. That's how it will flourish. We all know that. And so I can definitely understand why she would want to shave all her hair off, because it damaged my hair. Well, for the job, I had to cut my hair. My hair was long. It was down to here, straight. And so I cut my hair like here. And I didn't mind, because I love haircuts and I was getting paid for it, so it wasn't a big deal. I said, it's hair, it'll grow back, it's whatever. But then all the stuff after that, I really damaged my hair. So in between this last 10-year period, I've cut my hair probably two or 3 times, like cut. There's going to be pictures coming up here. You'll see the transition. But because my hair was dead at the ends, and it was like really weighing down, and plus in LA, when I moved out here 5 years ago, the heat, it's always hot out here. So I definitely saw that the lack of moisture was not helping my hair at all to grow and flourish like I wanted it to, or like I felt like it had before. So yeah, that was a really, really interesting transition back to this state again. There was some chemicals in my hair. There were some things going on in my hair, but it wasn't fully doing that, and it already it cut my hair down, down. It was not cute. Yeah, if you want to know about the modeling, acting industry in New York versus LA for a natural hair actor, please let me know in the comments below. I can make you a video. I do want to leave y'all on this note, though, when it comes to natural hair. That's just my journey, but this is really where it's at. The journey back to your natural state is a very, very vital, probably the only important part in your life. Everything else is really noise and distraction, because when you are back in your natural state and who you are, everything else will fall into place. Of course, lessons always need to be learned, skills need to be mastered, but I just feel as if people who understand their natural hair or are willing to explore that relationship with their natural hair are willing to explore that relationship with yourself even more. Even more, keywords, okay? Because obviously people who have skin conditions or illnesses or sicknesses or things like that, this is not something that you possibly can control on this level. I mean, there's obviously spiritual things and there's health things that probably could help attribute to heightening your health and making it better. But I'm speaking a little bit more generally to people who are, I guess, too scared or just too fucking lazy to get to know their own hair. It is getting to know yourself. And that is literally the only job that we have here on this planet, is getting to know who we are so that we can utilize those skills and knowing who we are in a way that's going to help the collective. I'm an individual, but we're one, you know? And this relationship I have with my hair, it is important to me. And it doesn't matter how much or how little you have of the hair. It's just your relationship with self, with your body, with how you carry yourself throughout this world. It matters. It does matter because it's a presentation. It's another visual presentation. It's another visual presentation, you know, just like the aesthetic of this video is a visual presentation, or your home is a visual presentation, or your food on the plate is a visual presentation. We're visual learners. We're visual communicators, visual beings, very specifically, because most of us can see. And so if we can see, then what we put together are the Venus of it all, the aesthetic of it all is important, and it tells a story. And the story that you're telling matters because it either helps or it challenges. It helps or it challenges, you know, which challenges are at the end of the day still helpful, of course, but I mean it challenging it in a way that's not even, I just don't understand how at this point anybody in any realm where they have to deal with someone's aesthetic, meaning in the entertainment world, such as myself, or in the modeling world, or, you know, the dean being the dean of a school, I don't understand, or I want to hear an explanation that's even valid enough to say that your natural state is not good enough for this position offered. That's bullshit. You're telling me my natural state is not good enough. You only think that a corporate person could look this way. You only think a mother could look that way. You only think that a priest could look this way. You can only think that a chef looks that way. You only think that, what are you thinking? But at the end of the day, I know most of y'all not thinking. Like, most of you are not thinking, because the world that I walk around in and I live in, there's so much diversity there. You can never guess. Even something like the spiritual community or the tarot community here on YouTube. I mean, you click on these tarot readers and you never know who you're going to get. You can't even guess where they're from, what accent, what skin color, what religion, what sexual orientation. All you know is that what energy they're bringing to you. And at the end of the day, energy, character, however you want to call it, is what really outweighs everything else. And my visual representation is also that of representing my essence and my character. But some of you people with your projections of what this actually means, some of y'all are fucking tripping. Because some of y'all don't even understand what it takes for this to even happen, for this to even be a thing, for what diligence and care and attention to detail it takes to actually be in your natural state, period, with all the distractions that are going around. And that's the thing that really boggles my mind. It's like you'd rather hire somebody with a hat, something that is covering up who they are so they can assimilate and look like everybody else, because you still have these weird warped ideas of what somebody is capable of just purely based off their aesthetic, when you have absolutely no fucking idea, no clue. And so that's why I'm so adamant about being a natural hair activist and a natural state activist and a spiritual being, because at the end of the day, who I am naturally and who I'm evolving to be every single day matters, period, and is of value. You know, and if you don't fucking know, look up a YouTube video. Because I'm tired of going on set and people not knowing what to do with my hair in 2018, because 2019 has happened. I've been on set, but I've been doing my hair on these other projects that I've been doing for a while. So that's a different thing. But I don't want to walk into a state where people that I am co-creating with, that I am doing something with together, that they're not even willing to step outside of their ignorant ass comfort zone and go beyond what they already know. Because honey, you're not an artist, you're a specialist. You're a specialist. If you specialize in one skin tone and one hair type, you are a specialist. You are not an artist. And I said what I said, period. Because at the end of the day, it's wild. You're getting paid and hired to do a service that you only know 25% about. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, because it doesn't make sense to me. But again, we live in a world that doesn't even make sense in the first place. So, but those are some of the things that I mean about getting back to your natural state. Stop being lazy and just go for it. And a lot of it has to do with confidence. Because there's so many times that I mess up my hair. There's so many hairstyles that are whack. But honey, I will still wear it all day, every day. I don't give up. Because I have a head wrap, okay? We could throw a hat on. We can make some buns. We could twist. We could do something. It's gonna happen. And those are the days that I probably get the most compliments, because my hair is like about 4 days old now. You know, I've been doing the same exact thing for 4 days. And you know, look at these edges though. These edges. Black owned, okay? I'll put the info below. Yes. Having natural hair and being in your natural state forces you, in my opinion, into self-love and self-care. And those elements are literally the most important habits that you can have. And no matter, again, how little or how much hair you have, it's just your natural state. When you take it all off at the end of the day, are you still going to love yourself, period, in all your natural states? So I just really want y'all to think about that, because it's more than what it seems. It's more than a movement. It is literally a spiritual journey. It is a spiritual journey back to your natural state and who you are always meant to be, and who we're always constantly distracted away from being. And please educate yourself on yourself. And if other people don't know, educate them as well. Drop them a few links. You know what I'm saying? We have the internet at this point. And if you're an artist that's watching this and you're a specializer, like I was saying earlier, then it's time to learn. Step up the game. You know, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't want any of the people that you know to be going through something like that. And you wouldn't want to be known as a person who can only do one thing. Or was only, you know, honey, diversify your profile. That's how you will stay booked and busy. Straight up, let me tell you. You will stay booked and busy. And by default, people of color, Black people in America, have to learn everything by default. Why is it that nobody else has to do that? It doesn't make no sense. But that's all, again, because we are the most diverse beings. Because in our Afro-descendant tribes. We have literally every skin tone, every hair texture, everything. So we have to learn everything. You know, it's time for a lot of y'all to learn more things about us and about other people and other hair textures. And don't make people feel as if they have to wear a hat and hide who they are because you don't want to step your game up. Nah, we ain't doing that no more. No more. So get it together, you know, learn your natural hair, learn your natural state. Everybody asks me, how did you go? I just let it be. I let my hair be, and I do whatever I wanted to do to my hair, and I committed to that look. Some days you will have bad hair days. That's just the way that it goes. That is life, okay? That is it. That's life. I've had plenty of bad hair days. I still have bad hair days, but I rock it with confidence. And most of the time when you're doing that, trust me, your light is shining so brightly that people can only see your essence and your aura in a beautiful, positive way. And then they'll call you beautiful and say that your hair is popping, your skin popping, and all this other stuff. But that's because, you know, you're working on your insides, honey. You're working on your insides, on your natural state. And, you know, you're not made for everybody. You're made for you. And then you give out to the world the gift that you have. And those who want to eat from your apple tree will eat. And those who want to plant seeds will plant seeds. And those who don't want anything will just leave. And that's it. But take care of yourself. Take care of yourself in your natural state. You owe it to yourself to get to know yourself, especially on that intimate level. And that's my natural hair video. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and chill now. This is my second time recording this because I did the whole thing and then, bloop, it was gone. Of course. All right, I will see you on the next one. Let me know what y'all wanna see, what stories y'all wanna hear, this, that, and the third. If you're a natural hair model, actor, please comment below your experiences because you know sharing is caring. And yeah, how do you guys feel about your natural hair? What has been the most enlightening thing that you have learned about yourself by journeying back to your natural state? For me, the most enlightening thing so far that I've learned is this shit is magic. It's magic. It causes some effects, honey. People will really show themselves. I mean, this, and I'm gonna link some videos below about different things that interest me, but especially this being connected to the spirit world and our coils and our kinks are literally our antennas and our communicators. Let me tell you, there is something about this, but it is also a power, and I understand that too. And I think we don't talk about that enough in the community, that there is this power that comes, just like how a man has a certain type of essence and power, a woman has a certain type of essence and power. The Afro has a certain type of essence and power, and whether that be historical, whether that it is historical. I mean, here on Earth, from what we know, especially with some hair, I'm telling you, there's some videos that I love. They are down below. Check them out. They're great. But this is powerful, and especially, well, I'm only alive right now, but especially right now, it's very powerful. And I've maintained this hair for so many years. It's been 10 years now that I've been a natural hair actor, and I've straightened my hair maybe I'm gonna have to think about this. I don't know if I've had a wig on, I think, for like one or two things, but most, I have to say, I can firmly say 95% of my work has been with my natural hair, and I'm not playing, you know, because you cannot tell what you just can't tell what someone looks like. You can't tell what someone does with their life or what their capabilities are or their character traits, besides like things like cleanliness or style or health, right? Physical health. But you can't go deeper than that just based off of somebody's look. Okay? You cannot. You actually literally have no idea. You have no idea if I'm great at accounting or not. You have no clue. But what you know, if you did pay attention, was that this is a thing. This is a process. And if you were kind enough to actually take a deep dive in and see what it actually takes to take care of this, just this part of me, not even my body, okay, but just this part and not my skin, then you would understand the amount of diligence and commitment it takes for this, and the amount of letting go as well it takes for this to flourish and happen. And then if people could actually see that, like I could see that in different people's culture. Like if I look in Asian culture and I see the type of Muay Thai or if karate or, you know, Krav Maga, if they practice a certain, that takes so much discipline. Like you have to really look sometimes beyond the aesthetic of it and beyond the practice of it, and literally look at the bones of what is happening right now. If you see a person studying an art form for that long, that diligently, then you have to understand that something within them is magical. And we all have it. That's what I'm trying to say. We all have it, just in different ways. And I'm tired of people literally cutting off and trying to strip us from our magic. I'm gonna leave it on that note. I swear I thought I was gonna end this video a long time ago. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.